I'm not ready. Just kidding.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Tavon Anthony.
And oh shit, Taki mushrooms. I don't know what the whatever. Oh shit. Oh shit. It's free Badoo.
And welcome to another episode of the FYM Podcast, man. We are glad to be back.
This is our second attempt at doing video stuff. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if y'all, I don't know. I feel like I have a face for radio. So personally, I'm pushing my boundaries to do this. But apparently y'all want to see what we look like. This is what we look like.
Yeah, I guess so.
Bitch with a bunch of pimples on her face in Tavon.
Come on, man.
But no, we are back with our second video installment of FYM Podcast, and we have a special guest. It's cool to have, like, we always have like musicians and stuff on here, or like different types of artists, but we don't often have comedians. So this is really exciting. This is somebody who I've grown to genuinely enjoy. He's a really good guy. I've seen just how supportive he's been of not just me, but other people in the comedy biz coming up, especially like women of color. I personally think like girl dads are really great. He's a girl dad. Girl dads are just inherently less creepy, especially on the comedy scene. So guys, please say hello to old Mike B.
Oh, man.
That was a very interesting introduction. I'll take it. I tried to be
Man, you should have seen his face. He was just that grin was getting bigger and bigger, man. Oh man, how you feeling, big bro?
I'm good, man. Hold on. Hey, come on. You wash your face before you get in this camera?
See what I said, kids.
See, that's dad stuff right there.
Oh boy. Say hi, man.
Hi.
Oh, what's going on, partner?
Good.
That looked just like you.
Oh man. I wish he would deny.
I did. I denied for like 10 minutes. Then I saw the nose, and I'm like, all right.
I was gonna say, you and him got the same nose. What you talk about?
Oh man.
He looked like the Chia Pet version, like, you know, when you get the seeds on it, you gotta grow it.
Oh my god.
You know what's funny? I didn't realize how much we look alike until I dragged him to the camera. Because a lot of times, me and my wife, we go back and forth about what our kids look like. Like sometimes, my daughter. Some people say my daughter looks like me, but now as she gets older, she looks more like her mom. And then I'm just like, maybe. I don't know. I guess I don't care. The blood test came back positive, so I guess.
Look, no, that's exactly how it goes though, because over like the course of my life, like,
how you know?
Because I look just like my father,
okay.
But then people like you say I look like my mother.
Okay, I thought you was about to say you had some kids.
Yeah, I got 7 6-year-olds I don't know about.
I don't know, man.
How you know?
I didn't know how this was going to go, but as a married man, I love seeing other people. I like to see men in couples in relationships get in trouble, so I was going to be quiet.
Oh no, it's thoroughly entertaining.
I was just like, damn, you got kids?
6 actually.
Okay, Nick Cannon.
I'm sorry.
Oh man.
No, not the Cannon. But shoot. What was
I got normally we just jump in. I got some things I want to talk about, so I'm glad that you're here. Normally it's just like Tavon and I will either agree or we'll starkly disagree on stuff. But we was talking a lot about the whole Olympics thing. The Olympics happened. It's over now. America was really pushing for Sha'Carri Richardson to get out there, even after she failed her drug test, which I personally feel like, look, rules is rules. It's the Olympics. If you didn't follow the rules, just don't perform. But then they put her on that 30-day probation, which I highly doubt. If this girl didn't think if there was a chance she was not going to be in the Olympics, she was not going to be like working out and training for those 30 days. So she just set herself up to fail. And the thing is, America hyped this girl up. They were like crying racism and all this shit. And then now that she lost and got dead last place, they're like, oh, look at her. She's so arrogant, blah, blah. Yeah, because you hyped her head up. What did you expect?
Hey, man, you know, sometimes you got to smoke a little weed. I don't know. I watch. I didn't really watch the Olympics. I normally don't watch. I try to keep up, but it's weird because everything I want to watch comes on like 4 in the morning or 2 in the morning. I'm like 40 now, so by 11 o'clock, I'm already like, yo, this is done.
Yep.
But yeah, I caught up with it. I thought she was marketable. I mean, she's marketable. She fits she fits what if you look at mainstream hip hop, some of that what a black woman would look like, or in an athlete, blonde hair, lashes and everything, go girl, go get them girl, kind of attitude. So I pushed for her to win. She came in last, but you know what? She looked good doing it. So I mean, I'm down. I'll buy the Nikes.
She got dead last too, but she looked great. But I think people are really upset about, like, I guess how her attitude was afterwards. But here's the thing, right? If everybody pushed for me to be somewhere and then I ate shit, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, well, doo-doo tastes good sometimes. Sometimes you gotta take a L. No, I'm trying to save face out here. Like, yeah, you ain't seen the last of me, but like, yeah, I probably seen the last of you.
You're rude today. I like that. But no, you know what's funny? And I was talking to my friends about this too, which is interesting. See, loose baby upstairs screaming. I
just feel like it's a baby in the wind flying around like a bag.
Yeah, she's up there somewhere. I always find it funny that whenever a black athlete fails, we immediately run to they need to be humble. Well, that's good because they need to be humble. Like they always want to try to suck our confidence away, and that always bothers me. Okay, she took an L, whatever. She said, "I'll be back," but I mean, especially within our community, we're always like, "Yeah, she was too cocky anyway," or "Oh, she would need to be humbled," and all this. Like they did it in Cam Newton. They do it to any athlete that's black, that's on top. Is always they need to be humble. They got too much pride and confidence and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, Tom Brady walking out with his chest out and I'm King Kong, and no one bats an eye. So I'm glad and I'm glad she lost. But at the same time, I'm glad she took that L gracefully and be like, yo, I'll be back. Maybe. I don't know. I got a contract. I still got my Nikes. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Look, here's my thing when it comes to athletes, right? This is my thing when it comes to athletes, especially elite athletes. I think there's a level of confidence you have to have, period. And if you're going to be really good at something, you can get lost or, you can lose your mind to the art, like Van Gogh, straight up. So when you get these people who are just like, no, like I'm still that motherfucker. I'm still that person. It's like, well, yeah, they probably need to have that mentality to be as good as they are, period. So, I mean, if you want to come at them from like this person's cocky perspective, it's like, well, most of you don't have an attitude like that towards anything. Like, and if you do, you don't see yourself as having that attitude, but that's because you're not, put on a platform where you can speak your mind like that. So that's kind of how I see it.
I mean, I feel like personally, my problem with the whole, oh man, you need to humble yourself, you're too cocky, I don't like your arrogant attitude, is these are the exact same people
recording in progress
who were, God damn.
I didn't know it was gonna make that sound.
The bot has entered the chat. Okay, big brother. But no, like these are the exact same people who were hyping her up, screaming like sugar mama, put my grandbaby in the game. And it's just like doing all this hooping and hollering. And like, they were just like, it was on WPGC.
Like you was blood.
Yeah. Like you couldn't listen to a radio station. People was writing petitions and doing GoFundMe's for some reason. It's like, you're not buying the ticket to send her. Like, what is all of this?
Are you the sponsor?
Yeah, but now y'all want to be like, oh man, you need to humble yourself. Hell no.
Yeah. You got to go, and to your point, you got to come into these situations with a certain level of cockiness and confidence anyway, because you're going against the best in the world. So if you already coming in like, I guess I'll run today. I guess I'm elite. I guess I'll go to this line. I guess I'll run as fast as I can when this gun go off. Then you already lost the battle. Yeah, you got to come in with a certain level of cockiness and confidence. And I always thought confidence and cockiness was a blurred line anyway, because people always say when you're a lot of people, even when you're confident, depending upon how you carry it, is, oh, you're being too cocky. And it's like, no, I'm just confident in what I do. It just so happens this is how I carry my confidence. It's like, think I'm better than you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how I carry my confidence. It's like, some people carry it, very low key, like, quiet, and then there's others that's really, boastful about it. But It's okay to be cocky and confident. Whatever. I don't care. Look, them Nikes gonna be fire. I can't.
Yo.
He's like, that's what I'm gonna get.
I'm not gonna stop this opportunity to give me some Nikes. If you're listening, I've never owned a pair of nice Nikes. So if anybody's listening to this, Mr. Carl Richardson, you want to give me some Nikes? You can give me some Nikes.
Please.
Just keep the blood out of them.
Oh no!
That's the thing now,
man.
and that's the next thing I want to talk about. I don't know if y'all have heard about this new thing. So Tony Hawk did this like collaboration recently with Liquid Death. Liquid Death is a water company, and they sell like cans of sparkling water and still water. I'm not gonna lie, some good ass sparkling water. This should get nice and cold, and I like sparkling water. It's delicious. But
you like cold water?
Yeah.
Oh man, to be young again.
I drink it cold sometimes if I'm feeling spicy.
You like see that?
I can't drink no ice cold water. That ice hit my teeth just right. It's over for me. Just go
No, not ice water. Ice cold water. Make it real cold, but no ice. I can't put ice and water together. My teeth will freeze off. But no, so Tony Hawk did a collaboration with Liquid Death, and so I wish I had the commercial. I wish we could pull it up. So he, I guess, did a commercial with them where he made a joke about how he sold his soul, and he didn't realize in the fine print of signing the contract of being sponsored by them that they own his soul. So they took his blood, and like they showed you like extracting blood out of his arm, and they mixed it in this paint, and then they made these skateboards. So they made like 100 skateboards. I think they're already like sold out or something like that. And then Lil Nas X came back, and he was like, man, y'all need to keep that same energy, because y'all was out here saying all this crazy stuff about me when I did it. Maybe y'all weren't actually mad about, the blood. Maybe y'all were mad for other reasons. To say, I guess, that people were like just being homophobic. But my whole thing is, I don't know what the fuck is up with all these celebrities and making these horcruxes, but I've seen enough Harry Potter movies to know that this is trouble.
Look, man, like this happens every like 5 years, where the demon trend and like the ritual stuff and all that.
They put
all that stuff.
Wait, 5 years ago they was putting blood and shit. When was they doing that?
It's either some type of weird satanic ritualistic stuff, or somebody's making some point about religion from a, how can I say this, from the enemy standpoint, if I should say. Because I mean, think about it. You have what's them boys, what's that, how am I forgetting that rap group's name? Wu-Tang. They did it for a while.
Wu-Tang was putting blood and shit,
dude. They was chopping Jesus' head off in videos, if you remember that.
Okay, all right, listen. Chopping Jesus' head off in a video, terrible, right? But also, I don't compare that to like actual blood magic.
What I'm saying, but here's the thing. Like, everyone wants to push the buck, right? It's just every time this stuff comes around, they're like, okay, well, now we got to go harder than the last time. So what do we do now? Like, well, let's actually do some real shit. I guess we're gonna put some blood in the shoe. Well, whose blood is it? It ain't gonna be mine, but it's gonna be in there.
Yeah, that was another thing with the Lil Nas X thing. They were like, we didn't know where the blood came from. At least I'm not at least with the Tony Hawk thing. It was Tony Hawk's blood. Still fucking weird. But with the Lil Nas X thing, it was like, we don't know where this blood came from.
This is weird. So they really took his blood to put it on the skateboard?
Yeah. They mixed it in the paint that they used to make these skateboards. They made 100 skateboards.
That's very, that's, to me, that's kind of disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah.
That almost makes me.
And he signed a contract? He didn't read the contract that said that?
I think it was like a gimmick. It was a joke. Yeah. But the part that wasn't the joke was like they dead ass took this man's blood and like mixed it into some paint and made skateboards.
That sounds like somebody who was really rich had that idea and was like, I will sponsor this. Do this.
Honestly, Liquid Death, now that I'm looking at it, it does look like a project that, like a daddy's money project. If you think about it.
I drink the stuff, so I ain't gonna lie. I had some yesterday, right before I performed.
It looked like it was directed at like men, definitely. Aren't you a hardcore guy? Murder your thirst.
Yeah. I haven't even seen a commercial for it. That's exactly how I think it would sound.
The only commercial for it is the Tony Hawk commercial.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know nothing about. I don't know nothing about that. I don't ride skateboards anyway, but now I got to be on the lookout because my son hoverboard. So he
Oh
hoverboard.
shoot!
Yeah, so he's like 3 more years away from skateboarding, and I can't help. I just told him how to ride. Well, my daughter told him how to ride a bike, so he's gonna want a skateboard, and I can't help him.
Oh,
He's
boy.
gonna. I just can't. I grew up in a time where riding a skateboard meant that you was trying to be white. I don't know why. It was like the early '90s, 2000s. So I was definitely scared to try to learn how to ride a skateboard. But it's cool now.
You grew up in the early '90s or the 2000s?
Well, I was in my 20s in 2000s. Look, we ain't gotta get to the dates.
I wasn't trying to put you on the spot. I was just doing a little quick math. That's all.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let me see. I graduated in '99.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So 2000. I was 19. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
So it was a good time. Couldn't do much. I mean, but I still can't teach your boy how to ride a skateboard. So.
Oh my!
I don't know how to ride a skateboard. I got flat feet.
You too?
Yeah, I don't think people understand that it's hard to balance with flat feet.
Yeah, I didn't. I used to have arches, and then I got into the army, and then my arches are starting to fall. Mm-hmm. My arches fell, so I got to wear insoles. This is getting real therapy. Real elderly now. I got to wear I got to wear arch support now to get my arches back. Mm-hmm. And I have bunions, which I didn't have until I got out the army. So it's really weird. I have to watch how I do things now. I can't.
Dang.
Look, you can't.
You
hold on, real quick, guys. Hold on, real quick. Let me do this.
Recording stopped.
I don't think I should ever started that thing because it did weird shit to the stream. But nah, just back on that note. No, look, man, you ain't Superman no more. When you're 18, you're Superman. When you're 22, you're kind of Superman.
I'm 28 and I'm on my way out of that. My knees hurt, my feet are flat, my back hurt. I get it cracked every day.
Indeed.
Wow. Okay. So we're gonna just push. We'll push through this.
No, that's not like that. I mean, like I have to like.
I know what you meant. But when he was like, "Indeed, it does," I just instantly as a man.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Because real, when you said a girl dad is less creepy, what you understand is a girl dad, I'm a lot more sophisticated with my creepiness now. So I don't go out here and just be because the youngsters they creeps and they be like, oh, look at them titties, right? Me, Jesus. I don't. Yeah, me, I keep the shit to myself. I'm like, man, okay.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't go out here flaunting, so it's really weird. I don't know how we got here. I know you just now, but
I was just talking about getting old. I was trying to commiserate with you.
Yeah. then he went. I call him Axe. Is Axe because I can't say your first name. I don't know what your real name is. I just call you Axe.
Oh,
Axe.
Tavon, man.
Axe.
Yo, actually,
trying to say Aeoxus.
So,
Axe.
So funny thing, right? Like I was actually, what was it? I was on somebody's live the other day. They were on Instagram Live, and I was like, "Yo, what's up, man?" They were like, "Oh, shoot, hey, yo, Axis. I don't know if I said that right, but I can't wait to work with you, man." I was like,
Ayo, Axis.
We just gonna keep it right there. But it's real funny because people online, like even if they mention me, they'll just be like, "Yeah, I don't know how to say that name." So Tavon Anthony, yes, that dude. I don't know if you know him, but hey, it works.
You gotta push through.
That name is hard for some people. See,
what? Oh no! Don't do that.
I was about to be spicy, but let me shut up.
I just realized what you was talking about.
Spicy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll just say that person isn't the only person that ever spelled my name fucking that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nah.
Oh, never mind.
We're gonna talk off air about this. Because I'd like to hear Mike's opinion on that.
Oh my goodness.
Get my pants. See what about me?
What's going on? Yeah. What y'all got?
Spicy.
You gonna save it for later.
Oh yeah, name wrong. Got you. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Got questions, yo. But yeah, I'm very low key. I'm not gonna say very low key because it's risky. I mean, one of the for me, right, when I started doing comedy, it wasn't like it is now. There wasn't like 9, 13 rooms a night. And as time went along, I noticed that a lot of women color, um, they was I wouldn't say complaining, but there was a lot of noise about how there wasn't getting a lot of opportunities. There wasn't a lot of support amongst the community. There's also a lot of support amongst the community and stuff like that. I being ignorant before I had kids, whatever, and basically having a daughter would say, well, if you don't like the situation, fix the situation. Like, don't go out here and complaining about the situation because it's not doing anything, right? Like, go out here and do it yourself. And some women actually did that, right? It made it better for themselves. But at the same time, you had others, was like, oh, they thank you for mansplaining the situation, right? So, so I was like, all right, cool. So I had to educate myself and listen. So I listened, and what happened was I was working with this other comedy group. I won't mention the name, but I was working, and I would make suggestions, and those suggestions would be, I wouldn't say fall on deaf ears, but it was like maybe, but we wouldn't put any effort towards it. So when me and Brandon started Broken My Comedy, one of the things we wanted to do first was make sure that we did something for the ladies. Give it up for the ladies. Was the next show, and like we made sure once a month that the fourth week of the month was all ladies open mic where they could do whatever they want to. We had a female host, and we just book all the women comics that want to perform on that open mic, whatever, right? And then it just kind of morphed. So even as we do shows, whatever, as we started doing showcases, make sure we have women on the show, make it a point. Because really boils down to is my daughter wants to be a comedian.
Oh,
and
man.
I have to, so I have to cultivate and build this scene on my end that's better than when she finally gets a chance to enter, it's better than when I walked into it. If that makes sense.
No,
Okay.
that makes complete sense. It makes total sense. And honestly, like, it's hard. Like, it's hard. It's harder than I would think or I would have thought to be a woman in comedy, let alone be a black woman in comedy. It's got some weird experiences around every corner. I will say that I've seen people act real creepy for no reason, and it's weird. Like, even with these new opportunities coming up, I still find that, like, as of late, I just keep seeing all these all dude lineups. And I'm not going to say, like, men aren't funny. There's lots of people that are funny. Everybody's funny. They got their own different points of views and stuff like that. And I think that's cool. But a lot of these lineups are just, like, dudes making sex jokes. And it just be, like, the same stuff. And I'm just like, damn, like, y'all don't want to hear something different?
And to that point, I don't think, because I work with a lot of people, whatever, it's hard. I'm not going to, this is me not making, okay, about the mansplaining. I'm not mansplaining. Don't make excuses. They don't reach outside of the circle, if that makes sense, right?
No, it makes sense.
Yeah, so a lot of times it's easy to be like, this guy, right? And I've seen where it's like, okay, what about this person? What about this woman, right? And then it's like, I don't think, and it's a mindset. See, when you book a show, a lot of times comics, when you're booking shows, when comics book shows, they book shows a lot of times to their funny, right? Like when you book a show, Bria, you probably book it to your funny. I'm just making an example, right? You're booking a show that to who you think is funny. Here's the thing: as a comic, you don't think a lot of people are funny. Period. So if you are a guy who don't think female comedians are funny, you're never going to book a female because you don't think no female is funny, right? Whereas to like me and Brandon, or I book for the audience. So when we had shenanigans, and I hear I may not think your joke is funny. Like I'll be like, man, Bria is trash, right? I'm just only because you're here, right? Just an example. Bria is trash, right? But that's my opinion. But I hear the audience laughter. So that means you're funny because it's the audience. It's not up to me. So I'm booking for the audience because there's an audience for everybody. And once bookers get out of their head, when bookers get out of their head and stop trying to book for their funding and then book towards their audience, to an audience, then it will open up more, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. Like, it was great when I did do Women Behind Glass, but I would like to make a show where it is a more diverse group. Women Behind Glass was necessary because that was a niche that needed to be filled, because that was something like a community that was not being served. Mm-hmm. And so in the last month or so, I've had a few people who've like used the online comedy scene as like a springboard into doing other things, and they were like, I'm glad that this was here, because that's how I was able to start comedy, because there are just men out here who don't think women are funny. And it sucks because like there are lots of different women out here telling lots of different jokes with different types of views, and I like different types of humor. Like I like, urban humor, I like dry humor, I like awkward humor. So I'm always trying to like find those people, because those people are like funny. I don't know, like when I look at people sometimes, it's just like, they just, not even just what they're saying, how they perform.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm trying to like captivate like an audience with this person's performance. And I feel like a lot of times like, and it's not to like shit on anybody or to like, poke fingers or prod anybody or like let anybody down, but it's just, or say anything rude, but it's just like a lot of times people are, like you said, just choosing their friends, and their friends might not be funny. And it's just like, and also I feel like if you're always just gonna do your friend's show, what's making you move and motivate you to write new jokes? Because that's another thing like that be killing me, is like you go to these shows, these guys are telling the same jokes for like 4 or 5 years. It's like, dang, bro, like nothing has happened in your life in the past 4 or 5 years, so you could throw a wild card in there.
I just feel like you shouldn't talk about me to my face. You
Whoa, dang.
I'm definitely still doing my albums jokes from #PromoteMyB. That's still on sale, by the way. Those jokes. Oh yeah, the pandemic. I was like, yo, y'all gonna get these same jokes because my album dropped and the pandemic dropped at the same time. Y'all gonna get these same 35 minutes worth of jokes that I got. But no, yeah, it's I see it. It's agitating for me, because especially when I try to suggest people, and it gets met with I guess the word, it gets met with hesitation, and it's like, yo, but you just, because I'll be like, but you just booked this person, and person is definitely not as funny as this person. You know what I'm saying? Or bringing up a specific joke, and it's like, but there's women, and women are going to get that because she's she's talking from a female's perspective, and you always want to have that perspective. I like I said, this is just about not booking. I get all of my wrestling, all of my business acumen from wrestling, right? Me and Brandon, and real true story. Vincent Kennedy McMahon. He says, my responsibility is not to the wrestlers, it's to the audience. And I take that same attitude when I book shows. It's not my responsibility, is not to the comics, it's to the audience. So I can't sit here and be like, yo, this person isn't funny because that person hasn't been in front of this audience yet. So I don't know. As long as that person goes up there and gets laughs, then they're funny. It's the moment that I see, because I do this all the time at Shenanigans. I sit there and I act like I'm not listening, but I'm listening. And then it's been like 3 minutes, and I'm like, yo, who the fuck is on stage right now? Cause I ain't heard shit. And it'd be like, who's the? And it'd be another comment like, oh, they're trash. Get them off the stage because they're not even making nobody laugh. Which is really weird. So, so yeah. So I say all that to say that it's just really a flip of the mindset. And but from it though, honestly, it's made women of color step up more and like start booking their own shows and doing those things and getting in positions of power to make those type of decisions, because a lot of times, like I said, when I first started, a lot of women were just waiting for somebody to like stamp them, and they ain't no more stamping no more. Like even if you look at the DC comedy scene, DC, Maryland, Virginia comedy scene, the top 5 comedians from DC are probably all women. Frankie Paris, Brittany Carney, and like there's 2 more. I can't think of like off the top of my head, but that's what I mean by like, oh, Aaron Jackson. Like these are all comics that came from DC, and they're all all black women. So so you can't say women aren't funny when the first 10 comedic, like the top 5, even you stop at Paris, like she's killing it. So I'm gonna get off my high horse. But yeah, I don't know why I went down that tangent, because you was fixing Axois.
I am Axois. I am Aoxis.
Aoxis. Is that short for Ox Court? Is that long for Ox Court?
No. It's real funny, man. That's I'm not gonna lie. That's one of the funnier, like that's like one of the funnier questions I've gotten. I'll be giving the explanation now when I actually put my first album out. So yeah, but
okay.
Yeah, we Donda in this album.
You working on the album?
Yeah. So
okay.
It's gonna be fun. Might change some opinions of me, but it's gonna be fun.
Oh Lord.
Hey man, yeah. A lot of people don't hear me actually express myself, so y'all gonna hear it.
Speaking of opinions in Donda, what's going on? Can somebody explain to me? Kanye West been living in an arena?
Yeah, he's in the bowels of somebody's arena. I think it's Las Vegas.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they building his childhood home in there right now.
Yeah, so he's supposed to be dropping some album. I think it's like Donda or something.
Yeah, it's named after his mom, but it's not out yet.
No, it's not out. So what he's been doing is he's been charging money to do listening parties for the album.
That's not out?
Oh.
That's not out.
Oh my
That's
God.
not out. So
he can do that though, not gonna lie.
Yeah, so he's living in the stadium, and every time he does a listening party, it only gets better. So this time he didn't put his childhood home in the stadium.
Yeah.
I think the KKK made an appearance.
The real KKK?
No, I don't know. But it's a whole thing. It's not just a listening part. It's not like a concert. It's like a real thing.
It's a performance art installation.
Yeah,
which is it's genius. That's genius. That's why Kim Kardashian wanted back, because that's money right there. The album ain't even out yet. People are paying for something that's not even out yet, and then they're gonna pay when it comes out.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a headboard or footboard. Like he's sleeping he has a box spring and a mattress on the floor in the stadium.
What?
It's like a jail cell. It's like a real.
Really
some people gotta lose themselves inside of it, man.
But he really sleeping there for real.
Yeah.
How does he eat? Is there food in the arena?
I mean, it's Kanye West, so I'm pretty sure he got somebody Uber eating for him on his behalf.
Either that, or he got nothing but noodles in there. He trying to live it for real. Of course.
But I think I saw this thing. Didn't he marry Kim Kardashian in there or something like that? Or there was like a little ceremony.
Yeah,
I
saw a picture of that, and they were like, "Hold on, what's going on here? Is he back with her?" Like, I'm like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, so yeah, it's right here. It's like a jail cell. I don't know if y'all can see this. So. Let me see.
Oh,
what?
That does look. That man's different.
Look, if it works for you, because he's selling some stuff on his website now, some music stuff, like little music hand machines, and that thing looked kind of cool. And I was like, I feel like this is low key a way for him to pay that rent for that arena.
He gotta pay his rent.
Yeah, there's no footboard, headboard, nothing. It's just him on the floor.
How are we feeling about Kanye these days? I feel like people are split. Look at this. That's a fancy jail cell.
Well, yeah. That is a fancy jail cell.
In the locker room?
If you tell me that's my jail cell, I'll be like, all right.
It's an IKEA. An IKEA bed.
I'm sleeping on a Fugger.
Yeah, so yeah, I still don't fuck with Kanye West. So
really,
yeah, you can't sit up there and hang with the oppressor and wear the oppressor's hat and carrying on, even if it was a publicity stunt. This dude had to run for president just to try to chip off votes, and I know niggas that was actually wanting to vote for him. So so it was like, I can't rock with you, man. Oh man, really? Man. No.
Look, I was not here for none of that shit. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh man, I love Kanye West. However, I realize that I've been doing a lot of thinking as somebody who, I think I have what it takes to make it. And I also am aware that I'm a human being, and sometimes I might say some shit that people don't like, or I might do some shit that people don't like or understand. And I feel like we as people, we want to be like these diehard fans and fanatics and admire people and stuff. But like, I don't know if you like remember Kendrick Lamar's song Mortal Man. And he's saying like, when shit hits the fan, are you still a fan? And he's like talking about what happened with Michael Jackson and all this other stuff. It's just like, shit's gonna happen. And if you're gonna be out here on the internet like, yeah, I love this dude, this is amazing, and you want to consume all their art and all that stuff, part of like being a fan of somebody is like, if you are really a fan of that person, you kind of just gotta like let them take their L's. You don't have to ride with the L's. You don't gotta be out here be proud of the L's that they take. You don't have to be out here like condemning them either. You know what I mean? Like, cause then it just makes us look like very like fickle people. And I don't like the culture now is just like, people are so fickle. You don't have to sit here if you like somebody or you admire an artist and sign off on the bullshit that they do. You can definitely hold them accountable, but like, don't be so quick to be like, fuck them, they're canceled, I don't fuck with them. And then now people are out here paying any kind of money to wear this man's shoes and go see him do some weird shit in the stadium.
Hey, them shoes are butt ass ugly, by the way.
Them orange ones look cute, kind of, to me. They look like what Sonic wears in real life. And I'm trying to get me some of them comfortable looking Sonic shoes. I've been in the service industry for 11 years. My feet hurt like hell. Shit like that look comfortable.
I don't know, man. I don't know about them shoes. I really don't. With the whole Kanye scenario, I mean, when it comes to the idea of fans, right? Like, because I take my influence from wrestling as well. I do. That's how I come up with most of my promotion ideas, the silly videos I do online before I freaking. You can almost say that influenced that a little bit too. But it's like I always entered with the idea that fans will be fickle, depending on times, depending on your situation, depending on some things that might be out of your control. Now, when it comes to what you do specifically, when people are looking at you, right, and you're in the public eye, you're somebody they admire or somebody that you like something that they do. You're attached to them in that way. When they have either a different opinion or a different just outlook on life, or they're just doing something crazy, that affects you in a way that somebody that has nothing you're interested in, you know, it'll affect you a little more. Like I was just talking to mutual friend of ours, JD, you know, like when he posts anything political on the internet and then he gets trashed like for weeks on end, like you were just some cool dude that makes cool music and now you're saying this stuff and people are like, oh, you're out of your freaking mind. It's like, yeah, because they're invested in you some type of way. Now, with Kanye in particular, with that, I was like, I feel like whether this is a publicity stunt or not, I kind of always looked at him as a guy that I just never knew what he was going to do next. So I'm like, he's also kind of unhinged sometimes. So I'm like, well, we're going to see what happens. And even in that moment where he was at the White House talking to Trump and Trump was looking at him like he was crazy, I'm like, yeah, no, this is what's supposed to happen because this is who Kanye is. Like
he's a passionate artist. He's hyper focused. He's bipolar. A lot of these things together, like, the man's a genius. But the thing is, if you look back at all of our geniuses throughout time, niggas is crazy. It's crazy as fuck. They're total assholes. Anybody that had anything to say about Steve Jobs is like, that nigga's an asshole.
Well,
may he rest in peace. Like
that man was the head of a company that's just like,
but before that, he was cussing niggas out. He was like calling people stupid, you know, like.
I mean,
but he made an iPhone. We got about 30 different iPhones.
I mean, you got to look at that when it comes to certain people that may be innovators or something like that. There is that extra edge to them. Period. Like, I mean,
the edge is crazy.
I mean, think about Michael Jackson. There's a few videos of him. Like, if somebody's trying to explain something to him, and you know he was essentially a diva. Like, but he'll just stop him. No, you're ignorant. You're ignorant. Like he'll cut him off with the quickness, and it's just like, dang, I know Mike was like that, but. Some people, when they are at the top or they're, you know, I don't want to say the highway to hell. Sorry. They're just moving and they're trying to be that guy. Like something else is going on with them. That's it.
These are all men though, too. I'm like, not to say like anything sexist. It's that a friend of mine, who is an artist, she and I were talking and I was just saying men are as boys, you know, like, men and boys, like, y'all are taught differently than women. Y'all are taught to focus. You're conditioned to focus, find out something that you like, focus on it. So you have all these like very passionate men in like the art industry or the tech industry. It's because like y'all have had time to curate these things and these thoughts you've had in your head and manifest them into reality. Meanwhile, women, even still to this day, there's a conditioning with women. We are not taught to focus on something we like. We are taught to focus on how to get a man or how to take care of a man or how to be a parent or I like all these like nurturing things. Like even I like talk to my friends that are women and we all like compare like notes from our upbringing and stuff. And it was just like, I wasn't allowed to go outside and play. And then when I finally was allowed to go outside and play, I couldn't leave the porch. So everybody else, all my cousins and everybody, they're all running up and down the street and doing whatever they want to do. And it's not like I would be alone. I'm with family, but I have a vagina. So I need to sit down or I should learn how to cook or like all that stuff. So it's just like, I mean, I like Legos. But
oh, come on.
Why you bullshit? I'm gonna have my daughter out there cut that grass and
there you go. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't I see that. I've seen that. So it's weird. I don't I try to make sure that I treat my kids same, right? So, you know, I try to make sure that I teach my daughter to do whatever she wants to do, you know, achieve whatever she wants to achieve, and I always got her back. That's just how I am, and you know, because there was a study, and I remember this study. It's to your point, Bria. It was dealing with colors, and it was about how Black families raise their children versus white families, and did a study on a white family will let their child run around, right? Run around the train. They on the train, so. He gets the chance to touch the seat, touch the pole, and grab shit and walk up to people and slap on their knee and grab their bags and all this other shit, right?
They call it exploring.
Yeah, exploring. Yeah. Or gentrification. The black kids family, right? The moment they got within a certain reach of their parent, it's like, hey, don't do that, don't touch this, don't do that, don't go over there, watch out, you know. And we're taught to, you know, always be at high alert. And I feel like that's, and we take that, and that's just an experiment, but that's just like, I think we take that same experiment and that same attitude and we put that on our kids. Like, I know fathers that raise their daughters really, really different. And do that, or, you know, or even something as simple as, here we go. The other day, my daughter wore a two-piece to the beach, right? Just wore a two-piece, right? Fucked me up. So I called my friend, you might have heard of Randolph Terrence, who's a father as well, Black father. And we texted. I'm like, hey man, what should I do as far as I need some help, right? Because I don't want to go off, right? Because this could, if I go off and be like, you can't wear that, it's almost like body shaming, and it's almost like putting her in the position that she shouldn't wear this outfit, right?
Right.
So I'm going to do what I do best. I'm gonna ask another man how I should handle this situation. So I went to my homeboy, Randolph, and I'm like, well, how should I do this? And he was like, you look at her and you tell her she is killing it, and it's not your problem. That is your problem. You're dealing. You have the problem with the two-piece. She doesn't. She's having the best time of her life. So you deal with that. And I soaked that all in. And I went over to my daughter, and I was like, so you gonna beat your face? You gonna put a little cocoa butter on that face? What you gonna do?
Oh, man.
She put a little cocoa butter on her face, like, you killing it today, right, baby? She's like, I am. And then we went to the beach, and that was it.
I know you didn't put cocoa butter on this baby face and then put it in the sun.
In the sun.
What the hell?
Oh, man. you know, set this kid up.
You out here roasting your baby out here. Oh, yeah. You get it, girl.
Go ahead, girl.
Get that cancer.
Sunscreen, but you know, whatever.
You're gonna turn your daughter into a mole before she can start her comedy career.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I just think that a lot. We didn't have and it's guys' fault. We don't have a support system to help raise a daughter. It's we overthink raising our daughters because we think about what we did in our past when it comes to women. But we try to compensate that by like, I'm not gonna let that happen to my daughter. When we get that out of our head and realize that whatever happened, but what we did to those particular women or what we did in our past, if we was players or cheating on our women and stuff like that shit's gonna happen in their life anyway. What we need to do is prepare ourselves and arm ourselves with enough information to put in their head, kind of guys is gonna be out here at the same time being like, yo, and I got your back if something goes wrong. And then sit back and wait for it to happen. And be like, I knew that shit was gonna happen. Now you want to talk about it? And then boom. Go that way versus being like, oh, you can't mess with that guy because that guy is dirty and he probably got herpes. Like, you don't know that. Now you put that in their head and then boom. So, but it's just really just changing. All of this is just changing the mindset, just changing the way that you think, and it takes a conditioning. It's something that fucked me up too because I know, let me cut me off if I get to this old man rambling because I feel like I'm being the old man rambling.
Do what you do.
My boy one time was saying that what was we talking about? We were talking about something, right? And I was like, I didn't change my thoughts about women until I had my daughter. And I think I was 29. And then he turned around and fucked my head up and said, now think about that. It took you 29 years to respect a woman. And I was like, and it wasn't until I had my daughter. So it's going to come around, ladies. You just got to wait sometimes. I don't know. Shit.
Oh, hell no. No,
you just got to wait.
I'm already 28. Nah.
You just got to wait. Don't worry about it.
See, this is why nope. And I had just made a joke on Twitter the other day. I was like, I am convinced that every man under 25 is an idiot. And we just going to pray for y'all.
Yeah, and a lot of us are. A lot of us are idiots. We make a lot of mistakes.
For under 30, for under 35. Being honest.
No, 35. We just hitting our stride. Then we just had our knees popped, and not at 35. We good now.
Y'all just learned to stop being toxic.
Yeah. I don't know. We're still toxic. It's just a different type of toxic.
I said learn.
No.
I didn't say succeed.
That's like I was saying, you was like, yeah, just a little less creepy because he's a girl dad. I'm like, oh no, I'm just a little bit more strategic. You just don't go out here and just be out here openly creepy. You just got to keep your creepy to yourself. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, you ain't never sent me no weird DMs, so you're good in my book.
Because I know not to send DMs. That's why you send those DMs to yourself.
See, people doing stuff like that. No.
Write a letter and put it in an envelope and burn it.
I wish somebody you gonna catch me. Slip it.
Why would I be like, yo, you know what, Bree? Why would I do that? That's stupid. That's stupid. I never understood that. I wish guys would stop. I wish guys would act like that a DM can't get screenshot and sent to your girlfriend, sent to their girlfriends.
Bruh.
Like there's better ways to be creepy. Like, you could just be like, hey, how you doing? My name is so-and-so. What is your name? Want to go on a date? You say no. I'm like, all right, well,
that's it. That's it. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Speaking of creepy, I'm not going to say no names, but I will bring the story because it is funny. So there was this dude, this comedian guy on the scene. Collect yourself.
He said, nah, this was happening today.
He got his.
I'm gonna get that name. Hold on. Let's look at that name.
Oh no.
He's off air note.
This call is being recorded for quality.
Put it in the chat. Let me stop.
Off air note.
But no, like this man, he was creepy. He's creepy as hell. He's doing creepy stuff. He got caught up being a creep, doing creepy stuff. And unbeknownst to me, he was, I guess, doxxed. But then, I guess he rebranded himself and came back as a dude with a completely different name and made, I don't know.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
We've been keeping him away from.
I didn't know that he had did this, though, right? And so he had, the original guy had stopped messaging me, but then this other dude was messaging me. And then he was showing up in my Zoom shows and wishing me a happy birthday and DMs and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, this dude looked kind of familiar, but I don't want to be a racist and be like, this dude look just like this dude. But come to find out, it was the same dude. So, and nobody told me. I just happened to be hanging out with a comedian friend one day, and they were like, yeah, such and such changed his name, and now he's this. And I was like, that's the same man?
Yeah.
Dang.
Don't you gotta sign up for a registry or something?
There used to be. I don't want to. I don't know if it's still around because I'm not supposed to know. But there's supposed to be a group of women, female comedians. They're all in the group, and y'all supposed to talk amongst yourselves and like alert each other.
There's a few groups like that though, all over the internet.
Yeah, because I got invited to that group for like 10 minutes. I need to look for something. I was invited. It was one of the old groups. I got invited for like 10 minutes, and I was like, I'm just gonna go in here, look around for something, and I'll be right back. I'll be out. Trust me. And I got in, and I was like, ooh, the gossip, oh, the messiness, oh, the tea. Let me get out of here. I was like,
before I get in trouble.
You walk into a room in a mansion and just like, oh Lord.
Whoa.
Ooh, this is spicy. What are y'all talking about? Like I was only in for like 10 minutes, but like just the conversations. I'm like, oh, let me get out of here. I don't need to be here.
Nah, you walk in like daddy daycare. You open this joint. Oh.
It was a lot, man. But yeah, y'all female comedians and the colored ones.
Don't please with the colored.
The colored.
What year? 1965. We got the colored women's groups on Facebook.
Yeah, mainly the colors.
The colors of comedy.
The colors of comedy.
Yeah, y'all got it bad, man. I mean, I be looking at it. I mean, at the same time too, y'all. I'm not gonna say y'all kind of got it good, but like y'all kind of like got it easy, if it makes sense. Like because
explain.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it does. I mean, because there's so few of y'all get a lot of opportunities quicker, if that makes sense. No. I mean, but and a lot of opportunities quicker because there's not that many of y'all.
I think it depends. Yeah. Like there are a lot. There are some Black women in comedy that I've run into that have been very supportive and just like really amazing. More often than not, I will say so. I will say that for the most part, pretty supportive. But then there are others like I had a comedian. I don't know. Like I had just started. I was like new into comedy. I was maybe 2 years into comedy. Looking back though, like this is probably. It was like them sizing me up. You know what I mean? They were just like, how long you been doing comedy? And I was like 2 years. And they're like, man, I wish I was as good as that when I had started when I was 2 years in. And it's just like, this person sized me up. I probably won't ever be on too many shows with them if they can help it. Because that's what that is right there.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be, yeah, there's a lot. I'm having a conversation with my good friend Greg Stevens. You might have heard him. We was talking about that, like how sometimes colors like to get inside the door and then they like slam the door.
Right behind.
Yeah, instead of leaving the door cracked so the colors could follow in behind the rest of them. So we gotta do better to support each other. But that's also part of the old attitude of well, it's still the mindset too, where we're conditioned that there's only one spot. You know what I'm saying? Like right now it's like Kevin Hart's the guy, and then we're all fighting to have the one spot that Kevin Hart has, where versus back in the 80s and the 90s, you look at a lot of old movies, it'd be like Robert Townsend wrote it, but then he has like
John
all
Witherspoon.
these John Witherspoon, Robert Townsend, some other niggas that was on Meteor Man and Blank Man and
Keenan Ivory Wayans.
Yeah.
I love like, Robert Townsend.
Yeah. You know, but it's like everybody worked together to make this one film, so you don't have there's not one spot. It's just like this guy wrote this film and I was like, yo, I'm gonna get all 40 of these niggas I saw at the LA Strip to be in this movie. You get what I'm saying? And we lost that mentality. I feel like we really do need to get back to that whole gang mentality of it may not be a good movie, but damn it, it's gonna be fun. And
everybody's gonna have something to eat off of this. And honestly, like that is what really inspired me to do comedy. Like I was a kid, I was watching a lot of shit I probably shouldn't have watched as a child. Granted, for the most part, whenever my mom was around, if she could help it, you know, it's not her fault. we got trifling niggas in our family don't care what kids watch on cable. But like I was watching Friday or like How to Be a Player or like anything with Bernie Mac in it because I love Bernie Mac, or like House Party and all these movies where they had all these black people of all these different ranges of talents and everybody's so funny. And I would just watch movies like that and I was like, I want to do that. I want to have friends like that. I want to do stuff with my friends where we can all like make movies and eat and like Baps and stuff. Like, and then you look back at all these movies that came out in the 90s and stuff with like Pierre and all these dudes that are from DC. They're from the DMV area and they were in these Hollywood films, and you know, they probably didn't make it. Like, they're not the Kevin Hart, because I guess back then like Martin Lawrence was the guy. So he was the guy, so he kind of like I think the only person really that Martin really brought up that I saw in real time was Dave Chappelle, like in like a Blue Streak or something like that. But
even with that, even with Martin, but he brought up people because Fat Doctor wrote a couple of episodes, which was his mentor, and he brought a lot of people from DC to that show Def Comedy Jam.
Mm-hmm.
He was to Def Comedy. He was hosting that. So I mean, he pulls people up, but I mean, me and Young Gregory, another colored comedian, we had that conversation, and it was like, well, how many niggas you supposed to bring up? How many niggas you supposed to bring up before it's like, okay, I put up enough niggas so no one else can complain? You know what I'm saying? Because there's still people that be like, yo, he didn't come back and get me. Well, nigga, was you talented? Was you around? Did you miss the bus? What was you sleep? What was you like? How many? What's the number? You know what I'm saying? Like, if Bria makes it, and my man Axios, right? Did I get one of the names right? I said 7 of them.
Axe body spray.
That's what I'm gonna be today.
Yeah, Axe makes it, right? How many people is he supposed to bring with him before we're like, okay, he brought enough people up. He did it. He came back and got everybody. You know, how many? I mean, then if you bring too many people back, you end up like Hammer, right? Because Hammer brought all of Oakland with him. And now he's broke, and none of them niggas got money. None of
MC Hammer not broke for real. That he was broke at one point in time, but all these Geico commercials, all this other stuff, he got royalties. He's MC Hammer got some money.
Look, when I saw that man get on the stage with Psy, when that man took over the world, I was like, yo, this is comedy gold for me, mainly because I'm just like, you know, you're a one-hit wonder, so you went and got the guy who was the one-hit wonder of his time, and both of y'all just dancing your asses
MC
off
Hammer
right
is
now.
a really good man, and you know what? If go for it. Like, I personally feel like there should be no quota on people that you bring up. Now, I will say, once you get up there, how you move, that's up to you. You know what I mean? But if I say I make it tomorrow, you know what I mean? Like, I have a list of people that I would love to see doing different things. And I and not even just in comedy, but like music and acting and sculpting and visual art. Like, I know all these different people with all these different talents that could, file in and do all these different things. Everybody doesn't have to be the star at the moment, but everybody does get their chance. I think it's up to you if you are serving your community. Some people, you get up there, whatever. Like, some people, it's just their prerogative. I'm just here to eat. I don't really care. That's cool. I personally believe that we are all here to do a service to each other. And if your service just happens to manifest itself in the form of having enough influence where you could put somebody on, or just give them a glimpse of exposure, you don't know what that could do for that person. And I mean, I think that behavior, when you have that behavior and you explain the importance of that behavior, you can pay it forward, so that way you don't have to be that person that is that specific person that's bringing that person on. That person can be brought on by somebody else. Like, okay, Dr. Dre. Fuck Dr. Dre. I fucking can't stand Dr. Dre. He's a piece of shit. But he brought Eminem. You know what I mean? And then through that, Eminem brought 50 Cent. Also, fuck it. 50 Cent. He's a fucking asshole. But these men had their times to shine at individual different points, and they brought each other, they were put on, And Eminem wasn't all up in the videos with 50 Cent and stuff. He just gave him a little bit of exposure, gave him what he needed to, springboard off of, and now he's his own person.
I don't like the fact that Eminem is the greatest rapper of all time, according to some people. I have a problem with that. It's not me. I don't think he's the greatest rapper of all time.
I think it's the most lyrical.
Yeah, because I got friends like, no, he's the greatest rapper. I'm like, so you know how many black people you got to pass how many black MCs you got to pass to get to Eminem?
I like people like Tribe Called Quest because I can actually understand what they're saying. I gotta read Eminem stuff. Is like Eminem's great. He's very lyrical, but he talks very, very fast, like somebody with ADD. You ever hear somebody talk with ADD? You gotta record it and play it back multiple times so you can get the sentence.
Played it back at half speed,
like Boomhauer rap.
Stop. Oh no, not Boomhauer. Goddamn Hadouken.
Yeah, I never. I mean, I'm not gonna say that. Like, no, he got some bangers. I just like, I'm not gonna.
Just in the conversation of GOAT, like, yeah, don't put him there. Like,
yeah.
I get it. No, yeah. No,
you
I get
gotta
that.
understand though. I think that's because like Eminem is. There's a lot to unpack here. The reason why, like, a lot of people, I feel like they're like, he's the greatest rapper of all time is because he does have a lot of lyricism. He does say a lot of stuff. He worked very hard to get to where he is, but he is the most successful white man to ever be in rap, ever. Period. Ever. Not that licky bum down dude from Canada in the 90s, not Vanilla Ice, not Yellow Wolf. Rest in peace. I love Mac Miller, but like Mac Miller was nowhere near as regarded and as successful as an Eminem. Granted, it's because he died, but like there's like a whole generation of kids who were really just like struck in awe by this tabooness of this white guy rapping and not caring what people thought and hanging out with black people. And then Dave Chappelle got that joke about that one white guy that's hanging out with them black people. Yeah, keep out for that dude. Like all these things dropping at the same time, just like making it so Eminem was just too big to fail.
Look, sometimes timing is key. It's the truth.
Timing, I think, is what made people think of him as that.
I never listened to Wu-Tang. There, I said it.
Are you serious? I
don't like Wu-Tang. I said it.
For real?
Yeah, I don't like Wu-Tang.
Are you being serious right now?
I'm being serious. This is an exclusive.
There you
I
go.
don't like. I would like ODB, and the only album of ODB I like was Nigga Please.
Oh, baby, I like it raw.
Raw. I want pussy for free.
Yo, somebody was playing his music in the gym. I'm over here. I'm like hitting the bag, and I'm like, is this ODB? What is going on here? Like, I went to the front, dude over here sweeping up just
shimmy, shimmy, shimmy.
I'm like, oh y'all, I know the head dude ain't here. Like,
yeah, I don't. Yeah, I tried to get into Wu-Tang. Like, I really tried. Like, 36 Chambers, all that. I tried to get into it. I listened to Method Man. My favorite rapper is Jay-Z, Redman.
Okay, hold up. I'm gonna tell you why she's. I'm gonna tell you why she's doing that. So we went to a friend of mine's studio the other day. I had to record some guitar for him. Shout out my buddy Osiris. But he he was trying to explain to her why, in his opinion, why Jay-Z was. Did he say greatest or? Did he say number one, or was he just saying in comparison to somebody? He said number one.
Was the best rapper of all time.
Yeah, she was just like, I don't think so. He just looked at her like, are you ready for this argument right now? And I'm like, oh,
I will argue anybody to death about Jay-Z.
They was going in.
Being garbage. You know how many niggas had to die for him to be president? Like, that's how I feel about Jay-Z. Like, and if you just listen to the shit that he be saying, like, this man sound like he got slippers on in the studio. Like, Jay-Z is rapping from a reclining seat.
It's because he's smooth with it.
No, he not. He just don't got nothing else to do. Jay-Z, I'm not going to sit here like Big Pimpin' era cool. Jay-Z probably was a good rapper at one point in time, right? But then he married his meal ticket or dated his meal ticket Beyonce into marriage and was like, I don't gotta say shit else. Tell your mother that I love her because I love you. And everybody's like, bars, oh my God.
Those are bars, though. I mean, I'm not gonna fight those kind of, that kind of hit different. I don't know.
That's just transitive property. That's just math. That's not bars.
Okay, look, listen. It goes reasonable doubt, banger, 5 stars, 5 mics, right? Okay, Life of Times, which inspired my first album, Life of Times Volume 2. Okay, it's Blueprint, right? And then it's like the and I like the 444 album, Everybody's like, I don't like it, but that's like grown folks drinking, just sitting here with a cigar in their hand, drinking some brown light ice.
I'm not gonna say I dislike it. I don't dislike 444, but that doesn't make me feel like he's the greatest rapper. Like, I think I like Kanye more than I like Jay-Z. He's a better rapper to me. The shit that he be talking about, I'm sorry. I don't fucking care. Hot take. I said it. You can sue me. Kiss my ass. So what? So what? So what? Jay-Z not out here in the stadium building the KKK house. I'm kidding.
Who you got, fans? This does not represent me. This does not represent me. Yeah,
I don't give a damn. And if Jay-Z didn't feel that way, guess who he wouldn't be using all the goddamn time for lyrics and shit? Kanye. Kanye would have never made it. If
Kanye needed Jay, though. Kanye needed Jay to get to where he's at, though.
He gave him the exposure, but the thing is, like, Kanye West is great. I love all his albums. He never did know what was that shitty ass album. Well, not shitty ass album. What was that song? Which album was that shitty song that Jay-Z got with Lenny Kravitz and made me hate Lenny Kravitz for like a whole year? I think the song was called like Guns N' Roses or something. It's at the beginning of the album. And I was like, this is doo-doo balls. I do not like this at all. It was terrible. I turned that shit off.
In my life. I'm gonna look this up.
Wait, I didn't like. Is that the
It's got to be one of the blueprints or something. I don't know. I just remember like this is.
I know what you're talking about because it's the one with DOA, Def the Auto Tune.
Yeah, it is Guns N' Roses.
Oh, I don't know. But I mean, you cut me off right before I said Redman, but Redman's not like
I'm
up
sorry.
there. No, but I mean,
Redman.
Yeah, I feel like Redman is one of the most underrated hip hop artists of all time. They don't really put any respect on Redman, who really is an honorary Wu-Tang member. And if he was a Wu-Tang member, I would be a Wu-Tang fan. But because he's honorary, I can't fuck with it.
Which is weird. I don't understand that. Like Redman's, I don't know. Like Redman and Method Man did so much together, and they did so much. Like, why not just make him a part of Wu-Tang? But I guess like if you're not in on the ground floor of some certain things, like just to keep it G with the people that you started with, like I guess. But Redman in all the videos dancing.
Yeah, he's in every video.
Yeah,
he just chilling.
They never really put him on because like Redman the only nigga that still live with his mama.
It was Blueprint 3, by the way. I had to do some soul searching. And then also MC Hammer is worth $2 million still. So
that's more than I'm worth.
Hey man, look.
At any given point in time, he could open up a Jollibee.
But he was worth $70 million before he started doing pumps in the bump. Which was another banger.
Wow.
Yeah, that Funky Headhunter album was kind of banging. A lot of people slept on that album. I had the cassette tape, and I just did it myself.
MC Hammer's biggest mistake was not patenting the term hammer pants. Because people were selling hammer pants, and if you was gonna sell some hammer pants or harem pants or any of that, I would have copyright all that. If you gonna sell them, you got to pay me, son.
Yeah, missed opportunities.
But he still got franchise money. He could open up a Starbucks.
$2 million?
Yeah, it doesn't cost that much to open a franchise Starbucks. You just put it in a Target or something. Yeah. All those ones, Targets and those little random kiosks and stuff, half of those are franchise. Somebody opened that up at the airport or something, and they made their money back because it's an airport. Just got to know where to put it in a good location. And then
don't put it near Spirit. Don't put it near Spirit.
Oh.
Trash.
I'm trying to get on Spirit because I'm trying to get in a fight with somebody. Like, if I need to blow off some steam, just be like, hey, give me a Spirit ticket to just North Carolina. Give me a flight that ain't gonna be that long. I ain't gonna need.
That's the only way I would fly Spirit. Only way is to go somewhere that's like an hour away. I'm like, I got $10. Let me go ahead and
get on that plane.
You know how many fights?
Everybody in here.
Nope. You know how many fights you can see on Spirit in an hour's time on Spirit Airlines? That's 4 ass whoopings.
Look. I put my hands on somebody on that plane. Ain't gonna be no more fights. I'm like, all right, don't fuck with that guy.
I bet you every fucking Spirit Airline flight attendant is a former referee.
Oh my god. Nah. No,
You pulling out knives?
Nah. Look, I was in a part of Maryland I ain't normally in. I just got back from a show, y'all. I'm sorry. I was at a bar where I was the only.
Is that a harmonica?
Huh?
Was that a harmonica? Is that your left hand?
Nah, they're both.
Oh, okay. I thought you had a harmonica, which is the most disrespected instrument.
Help!
It is, dude. I've seen people do some stuff on harmonicas. I'm like, this dude been there. But nah, man. Listen, I was at a venue. I'm the only. I was like the only brother, but outside of like one dude I saw playing pool, and I'm just like, hey,
he's a drug dealer out of town.
I'm like, I'm here with a couple of my boys, but if something go down, it go down. I'm alone. I need to.
They look like they jump in. Like he jump in.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, they definitely jump in. It's just, hey, I ain't that big of a dude.
You know, we can say that. I'm not talking about your boys, but just saying in general. Sometimes you go with people somewhere, and and you get to a particular sticky area, and it's just you and a couple of these people, your friends, and you're like, will they? I don't know.
They're a scrappy little group. I know at least one of them. One in particular, I'm like, he showed up here in some slides.
Yeah, yeah. Oh no, yeah. No. Nah, fuck it. I say his name. Nah, Matt going in immediately. He's going in immediately. What? Dropping his drink, go. Cam at least gonna ask a question. What's going on here?
He gonna pick up a guitar. He's not wasting no time. He look 38 years old. He 24. He's seen something.
You see some chairs thrown, tables break legs in WWE, and you're just like, hey, Matt, it wasn't even that serious.
I don't think you understand. I seen a white guy with sandals on, like Birkenstocks. Like those are the only type of sandals that they'll do without the little toe thong thing. Now, when I see a white dude roll up in them slides with the strap over the front, oh yeah, he fighting.
Nah, that's the thing.
He need to be able to jump out of these shoes at any given point in time with maximum comfort and ease.
Look, man, them the boys I'm gonna have on Spirit Airlines. That's what I'm gonna do. They ain't gonna be with me.
Hey, speaking of WWE, not that, but you watching All Out?
Nah, man, I haven't watched wrestling in a while. Like the last event I watched was the recent SummerSlam, and that's only because I know, man. I know. And that's only because my phone was going off the hook about like what was happening. And I'm just like, all right, well, let's see what's going on. Now I'll tune into AEW. I'll tune into AEW every once in a while. Yeah, but
that's what I'm saying. You're not gonna watch all that. This CM Punk first match against Darby Allin.
I'm so sick of CM Punk.
I'm thinking about it. You know what? I think I'll watch it for this reason, right? Because I'd rather see that man in a setting where he is comfortable and I know he should be there. Like with what happened with him in the WWE, the whole big old story. All right, whatever. He wasn't comfortable. He wasn't happy. But when I saw him come to the UFC, I'm like, for the love of God, he ain't got no friends. They not telling him the truth. And I'm like, he gonna get hurt. He's gonna get hurt. And
sure enough.
Yeah, like, well, first of all, they gave him the boy was like 22, 23 at the time, full of testosterone, just beat his dick, and he just ran out there like, all right, I'm gonna crush this motherfucker. I'm like,
how you know he beat his dick?
I don't know, man. He just
look at that man, look at that face.
No, man, I used to make fun of that boy. But no. I'm just glad he's back in a place where like you kind of know he's gonna do work. I don't know. It's going to be a good time. And that kind of makes me want to see what's he going to do now. Especially since it's AEW. It's not like he has to worry about the box the WWE's in right now. That they kind of put themselves in right now. So it's like, it's kind of like the real CM Punk. What's going to happen, Yeah,
that's ROH CM Punk.
I just don't want him to lose his booty hole again like he did that one time.
What? Where?
There's a story he talks about it. He was wrestling. And something happened. I don't know if he wasn't feeling well. Maybe he take these painkillers or he had hurt himself. I don't know, but I think his anus prolapsed or something like that. And I think he either did it while he was wrestling. So I think he shit himself.
Yeah, I remember that.
I've heard multiple stories about that. Apparently Cena did that too.
What are y'all doing with y'all booty holes out here? Look, I could never do so much strain on my body that my whole booty hole just fall out. Not hemorrhoids, just the booty hole itself, just falling out of you. I mean, like an emergency when you're on an airplane and the oxygen masks fall down. That's all I can imagine.
Look, man, these guys, they work injured. They work under all types of stress. I mean, it ain't the 90s where you got guys like Scott Hall taking a crap ton of painkillers and then walking out into the match hoping he finishes the match before they kick in. Like, but nah, it's strange. But you know what? Nah, screw it. Because you mentioned it, I'm gonna watch.
It's next Sunday. You should watch. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to see what's going on. I think also Daniel Bryan makes his debut.
Okay.
So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. That's the only wrestling I do watch. I watch some WWE, but it's kind of off on sketchy.
It's weird now, man. It's weird now. And then here's the funny thing: like AEW, like some people, when it was first like getting its hype, they were like, "Oh, this is going to be WCW all over again." And I'm like, "Well, I mean, I don't think so. I think they're making better decisions. One, with the finances. Two, if you look at who's actually backing the company, he got long money, like dumb long money.
He's like a Sheik or something.
You got dumb long money. But when I saw they're getting everybody, like not just the wrestlers, but they're pulling like certain celebrities and stuff out there. Man, I saw a dude from he had just retired when he was on there, UFC champion Henry Cejudo. He was on there for an episode. I'm like, what the heck? His little tail, he 5'2". Like, what you doing in there? Trying to push on somebody. I think because Mike Tyson was in there with Chris Jericho.
Oh Lord!
I was like, what are they doing? But I was entertained, so I can't say nothing.
I went to their first event before the pandemic. Their TV taping was in the Capital One Arena. I was called the Verizon. And I was there for that when Dean Ambrose, John Moxley, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what they call him.
Threw Kenny Omega through a glass table. I'm like, oh my God, this is real. And then I saw Orange Cassidy. So it was great. I was only in it for Orange Cassidy.
Damn. Speaking of Sunday and fights, so tonight I think is a pretty, I know a lot of people were probably out here putting their bets in for the Tyron Woodley Jake Paul fight. I heard somebody talking about it at the bar last night. People
I hope Jake Paul get his ass. I don't know. I don't watch fights like that. But
everybody be saying that, but that's not gonna happen. Like he's got too much money. Like I genuinely feel like Jake Paul's team be paying people to take dives.
I got 3 opinions. I got 3 opinions. One, a payoff was taken. Tyron's going to take an L. Mm-hmm. That's not the opinion I'm leaning on, but that's what I think is a possibility. Mm-hmm. 2, Tyron's going to go in there and wax that boy because that's what should happen, but I have an opinion on how MMA actually translates to boxing. It does not translate the way people think it does. 3, Jake actually outpoints the man till the end because I know Tyron's habits. I've seen how he fought. And I'm not saying he's going to bring the habits of the cage into the ring, but that can, if your first plan does not, work, so, is it a possibility that Jake can beat him? Well, yes, it is. The boy is taking this seriously. I'm not going to sit here and act like he's not in the gym. I'm not going to act like he has no business. He is an athlete. He's an able-bodied individual. He's a large guy. He's a very large guy, and he's put in the work. Do I believe he has a team that is out here pushing him to the pinnacle? Yes. No, I don't believe that's the case because they need to secure their bag. Shoot, even Tyron said that himself. He's like, these guys are not hurting you. They're not putting you in positions where you really have to fight yourself out of it. Like, it's just not the truth. I don't believe that's the truth. But at the same time, it's like I've been saying on the internet for months now. I'm like, if Jake was not famous, nobody would give a fuck that he's fighting people that, shouldn't be in there with him because boxers do this, period. How do you think anyone in boxing gets a 40-0 record? If you go 30-0, 40-0, 50-0, minus Floyd Mayweather because he fought world champions, period, like your sport is not real. You've been fighting people that you get off the street. So it's like the possibility of Jake going out there and actually having a decent game plan, he's going to get hurt. He's going to get hit, period. It's just the truth. But the idea of him just losing just because you don't like him, it's take that out the window. Do I believe Tyron should go up in there and blast this boy upside the head real quick?
Absolutely.
Yes, that's what I believe should happen. Is there a way for Jake to win? There is a way. Is it going to happen? I think in reality that should be very slim.
We'll see, because I feel like it can go one of two ways. Either it's going to be a very, very short fight, or it's going to be a very, very long fight. Like, I don't see no in between. I see it either going to be a long evening of pound for pound, or just somebody just going to go in there, bang, and it's going to be over.
I'm going to tell you this right now. Ain't going to be no long evening of pound for pound unless we see two dudes that look like they should be heavyweights up in there looking tired as hell, because neither one of these boys have the greatest cardio gas tanks in the world. Now, I would give the cardio edge maybe to Jake because he's young. And I don't know, maybe when he gets hit upside the head a certain way, if it doesn't ring his bell totally, he gets that extra adrenaline. Because I know how that goes. Bang, oh shit, now you're ready to go. Look, I've been there. Look, when you see that light, you start panicking. It's a different type of energy you get. You're either gonna get scared or you're gonna start moving in a way you ain't think you can move.
Fight for your life, yo. Fight back.
Oh, look at him.
Fight back.
Oh, float like a butterfly, sting like a ooh. I don't know. We gonna see, man. We gonna see. I'm looking at the other fights on the card, though. I know Tommy Fury's fighting, so I'm just gonna. That's what I'm looking for boxing. For entertainment, I'll watch Jake and Tyron just to see what happens.
I just want to see what happens. Yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested to see what'll go on. Somebody gonna get their booty pat. We gonna see.
All I'm saying. Huh?
What's up with the booties?
Yeah, you on the butt today.
I'm on the butt every day.
Oh.
Everybody likes butts.
Yeah, I guess so.
And besides, it's a lot of things that have booty in them. Okay, like I didn't expect for wrestlers to have their booty holes falling out when they was wrestling, but apparently that can happen.
What you said, falling out?
Yeah, it fell out.
Falling out. That's what my track coach would say to me. Like when we were like training and it was cold. And he was like, man, you don't want to be laying on that ground. Your butthole fall out. I'm like, butthole fall out?
Yeah, is that true? That's an old man thing. Yeah, don't sit on cold concrete. You get hemorrhoids.
I was like, what?
Huh?
I don't know.
I was like, that ain't never happened to me. I'm like,
you never heard
insane.
that?
I heard of it. I've tested it out. No hemorrhoids. Yeah. I did have a hard time getting back up.
Like, ooh.
All right. And maybe that's what they meant by hemorrhoids, is the fact that if you sit there too long, it's going to be a hard time getting back up, which would be easier if you just say, hey, if you stay there too long, it's going to be hard for you to get back up.
Yeah,
maybe.
Like a lot of you.
Nah, you're going to get hemorrhoids.
Nah, they want to scare the hell out of you. Yeah, it's all going to fall out. Well, okay.
I personally hope to never have hemorrhoids because, like, my mom and my stepdad both have hemorrhoids, and it just, any given time of the month when I was a teenager, these niggas out here just tucks all over the house. Just... Which I don't know how you use them or what they're for, but apparently if you have hemorrhoids, you have to use suppositories to push it back up.
Oh, well.
And I heard it's very painful.
Sounds like a good spot to end. It might be a good spot to end the podcast. I'm not sure.
Disgusting. One day I'm gonna freaking program that in so like the word disgusting comes up, just disgusting.
We can get that. We get a little soundbite. Get a little MPK out here. Let's do it.
Oh my god.
Well, I guess we've grossed Mike out enough. He's gotta go catch that loose baby.
There's a loose baby upstairs right now.
Just floating around in the ether. So I hope it has a diaper on.
Well, yeah, I mean, shoot, do you guys want to call it?
No, we can't. But before, Mike, is there anything that you would like to promote, like Broken Mike Comedy? Tell us more about Broken Mike Comedy before you go.
Yeah, Broken Mike Comedy. We have 2 mics at Shenanigans every Tuesday and Thursday. We have a third one. Is at Smitty's, and we getting ready to do. And every 4th Saturday we have Wonderland Ballroom starting September 24th. Cool. And we have another room that's about to start up. Again, we got a lot of rooms. And my September is mad open, but it's like anniversary birthday month. So don't book me because I got my wife's birthday and shit like that. So just leave me alone for September. But October, I'm at DC coming along. And yeah, I appreciate y'all bringing me on, man. This is dope. I learned a lot about hemorrhoids, and I'm gonna let it be known that let Gaston know whenever Bria comes do shenanigans to bring you up to Jay-Z.
Don't.
What was the joy? What's the name of the song?
Hell no, that's the song.
No, that's with Lenny Kravitz.
I will call Gaston ahead of time.
Like she wants the song with Jay-Z for the Kravitz, please.
She wants that guns.
Yeah, I will sit there. I will wait in silence.
Finally meet the man, be like, "Hey, I have your biggest fan right here," and he's like,
"Look, man,
I know a person who loves your music, especially the song that has the Kravitz in it."
He's just not the best of all time. Like, he's just not. Like, not to me.
Who's the best of all time then?
Of all time, like, I don't know. Like, I personally, when people say the best, like, I don't think there's a number one anything ever. I think that, like, just it's impossible for me. I think everybody has their time to shine at different points. At one point in time, maybe because, you know, again, how many niggas died for this nigga to be president? A lot of niggas was dead and going to jail. So, yeah, it was Jay-Z. But, like, then he lost the battle to Nas, which you would think Nas would be the better rapper, but then still somehow Jay-Z was considered the best rapper of all time. And I'm just like, Kendrick Lamar, I think, is like up there. I mean, granted, he's like not been around as long, so it's one of those time would tell things, but I definitely think he has the potential to be one of the best rappers of all time. Like, just the people that he's reached, and the lyricism of his raps, and also the production value of the music, and just like everything about it is just like, it feels like art. And so when I'm thinking like of like what makes somebody like the best rapper of all time, it's not just like, oh man, that was a big hit, or oh, people were jumping, or like, oh, he had a good album. It's like all of those things, but also like the consistency of it all. And Jay-Z just, I don't see that. I like when he's consistent in the sense that like he's been around, but like going in and out of retirement and stuff. Like, I feel like he was going into retirement because there was niggas out here that was better than him, and then he would come out of retirement when there wasn't niggas out here that was better than him no more. And he just did that for 20 years, and now he's the best rapper of all time. Like,
So I'll make it quick on my end. I think it all comes down to what a person takes in when they're looking at the idea of what is greatest of all time. You know, I kind of lean on what you were saying earlier when it comes to that's a weird conversation to have, because when I look at anything, whether it's like, let's say basketball, fighting, anything like that, I believe that time is something you can't really put in there when you say greatest of all time, because if you're saying they're the greatest of all time, you're saying they were the pinnacle of this art form and it never progressed.
Exactly.
Ever. Like,
yeah.
That's what you're saying. You know, just like when they say Jordan, greatest of all time. No, he's not, unless you're telling me nobody in the NBA right now could run that man. Like, that's what you're telling me.
At one point in time, he was the greatest of all time.
No, at one point in time, he was the greatest when he was there, period. It's like when anyone says Ali was the greatest of all time. No, he was not. Ali will not beat a 6'4" Floyd Mayweather, period. He will not. So
just because you said Jordan, though, like specifically at the time he was around.
Yeah, at the time he was around.
There was an actual point in time at one point where people were not surpassing Michael Jordan. And it's not because there wasn't somebody out there that wasn't better than him, but they just had a different work ethic. It wasn't until like a Kobe came around, somebody with that work ethic who could also, like, at one point in time, Kobe was the greatest at all time. And there were people who were great, but they just were not, as the sport as a whole was just not surpassing that level.
Yeah, but that still sticks to my point where when you talk about the greatest of all time, until time stops, and I don't think that conversation should happen.
Yeah.
I think favorites, definitely. You can have your favorite. That is a thing.
Okay.
But
I agree. I can agree.
Goats
with that.
in almost anything. I don't know.
I'm a goat. I'm a goat. I'm a goat.
We got the greatest girl dad of all time in comedy.
I try to be until some scandal comes out about me and being like, this dude ain't all that attractive to be.
Man, this man out here taking kids to the beach after slathering them in cocoa butter.
You on a tabloid with a picture of you. It's like this.
Give me your face.
Oh no!
Now go stand in the sun.
Every day you come out, no pictures.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all, man, and I'm sorry I backed out the last minute again, Bria. Don't beat me up. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness, I wasn't even about to bring that up.
I did.
That was weeks ago.
That was yesterday.
I'm trying to throw you bail, man.
Nah, I'm good.
But yo, thank you so much
Yeah,
for making
for
the time and coming on, man. We really appreciate you.
Anytime, man. Anytime. Anyway, anytime I get away from the kids, it's great.
Oh man. Anything else you want to say, Bree?
I don't know. I guess I'll see you the next couple weeks when I can get myself down to DC. Try to be on your shows.
Yeah, you put September 24th there.
I'm actually gonna be in Delaware, but
all right. Well, we'll never work in this town again.
Up in flames.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my.
No, we'll pick this up.
Cool. But yeah, thanks for coming, Mike. Follow old Mike B, y'all, on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, I guess. I don't know. People still doing Facebook. If you over 40 and you want to listen to what Mike has to say, definitely friend him on Facebook.
This one on TikTok. I'm on TikTok. Everything old Mike B 757.
Oh, all right. Old Mike B 757 on TikTok. Cool.
Yes, indeed. And remember to follow us on Instagram at FYM Podcast Official, guys. We have more to come, more amazing people like Mike B, and more videos, shenanigans. We're going to have some good times on here. Yeah. So thanks for those that tuned in while we were live, and we'll see you soon.
See y'all.